Welcome back, everyone, to Blade Bias, the only podcast that, um, it's a podcast. I can tell you that for
It's
sure.
a podcast.
I'm
It's
here
one
with
of them.
with Ty. It's one of them.
It's one of
Of
them.
all
It's
of
a
the podcasts
podcast
in the
star.
world, this is definitely one of them.
This is definitely one of the most podcasts ever.
Yes.
That's an
Yeah,
accurate
I
statement.
love that. I'm here with
Honestly.
Ty, as you can
Hello.
see, and here,
Hello, Internet.
and it's going pretty well. What are you
Going
excited
pretty
about
well.
this week?
You know what I'm excited
Anything
about?
exciting?
That I've been excited about for a very long time. But we're gonna mention it this week because topics. Firefly V2, V2 point question mark. I guess.
Ah, yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, I had to sell it, unfortunately, to afford my Nautilus, which you can see on my Instagram. But anyways, I had a BBFireFly, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. I love the thing. And then they released the V2, and the V2 is awesome. And BBFireFly as a company is super sick. I don't have a V2 currently. I would love one, but Barfly as a company is just kind of ahead of everyone else when it comes to customer service and just listening to their community. And it's
Oh,
kind of
for sure.
ridiculous. Kind of
The-
ridiculous.
The speed at which they're able to implement changes that the community asks for is just incredible. Like they reveal the version 2 and they're like, here's the version 2. We put 2 extra milling holes in the little pockets at the bottom. And everyone was like, hey, where's the jimping? Where's the jimping? Everyone and their mom. And then what was it, like 4 hours later, they're like, you
Yeah.
asked for it, we provided, boom, jimping. And then they went for sale like the day after.
Yeah, it
Which was
was
shocking.
It was very, very fast. And they did it again. They added, because my main thing was like jimping's cool and all, but still 3/4 of the side of the handle is completely just flat and untextured. And like I
Yeah.
love jimping, but also there's gotta be something else there. So I know I recommended it, and I guess a few other people did. So they just added like lines down the side, kind of how they did on the front of the OG, I guess the front of both of them, but especially it's really close to the front of the OG Firefly. And that's perfect. That's literally what I was asking for. Literally my only thing I said with the Firefly, I said add jimping and add some texture on the side of the handles, and it's golden. It's absolutely perfect for what it is. And
Oh
they did
yeah,
it.
for sure, especially at the price. And I will say the only thing I'm concerned about, if you look at a picture of it, it's 2 thin lines rather than, I think what everyone meant was 1 bigger, thicker line.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how much it actually does for grip. I'm not huge into most of my balisongs don't have texturing on the sides or any of that. So I don't really know how much it would help, but I'm interested to see how much the 2 thinner lines help. Or if
Yeah.
1 bigger line would have just been better.
I'm not really sure about that, because I've never tried one. Like the Kraken just has 1 big line. The OG Firefly had 1 big line, and those just 1 big lines work perfectly. I have no idea how the 2 thin lines will be. Maybe it'll kind of be. Maybe I was gonna say maybe it'll kind of feel like sandwich handles, but that might be pushing it. That might be a little too much to ask for. I honestly have no idea. We'll just have to try one. Hopefully someone has one at Blade Show. 'Cause
Hopefully.
I don't think Barfly attends Blade Show. But hopefully somebody has one so we could just try it. But I'm not going to keep my hopes too high for that because they did just announce it, today, I think?
I think it was
Today or
actually
yesterday?
like 3 or 4 days ago.
Really? Maybe I just
Maybe.
missed it.
Maybe my timeline's way off. Actually, I don't have to use my phone as a camera, so I can look that up really quickly here. But I believe it was a bit longer ago. They just re-uploaded
Oh, yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
an announcement.
Yeah. But yeah, it is astonishing how fast, not only just how
3 days ago.
fast, okay, that's good. Not only just how fast Barfly works, but also how much they listen. It's like if
Yeah.
they don't even question it half the time. It's like if the community wants something, they'll give it to us. And that is a beautiful thing. And honestly,
And
I
they
already
did the same thing. Oh,
I already really, really loved the OG Firefly, and the Firefly
mhm.
V2 is just like the few improvements I wanted to make, they did. So I am really excited to try one. I don't think I'll buy one at the moment, just because I have other knives that are kind of in my, excuse me, that are kind of like in my pipeline. But I am super excited to try one, and I think they're amazing for, especially for the price.
Oh yeah,
Because
and
they
they've already
changed.
demonstrated. Like this is the second time that they changed something on the spot. I believe
Yeah,
Brandon Baker. Ooh, that was bad.
that
I
was a bad
believe
one.
Brandon Baker suggested something to them, and they changed the machining process like the same day.
Yeah, it
The
was the
rounded tank cup.
yeah, the tank cups. He told them, he was like, "Hey, this kind of hurts," and they're like, "Okay, we fixed it. You want a new one?" And
Yeah.
they sent him like two new ones. Yeah, Barfly as a company is super awesome. Um, they put my video on their website. They said they'd keep me updated on future products, which I was hoping that meant I got a review unit of the V2. Didn't happen. Little sad about that, but you know, I'm not gonna complain too much. They still put my video on their website, and
That's pretty cool.
gave me a little shout out. So that's pretty hype. But yeah, I really want to try one. I really don't
I
know if
do as
anyone's
well.
gonna have one, but if it's anything close to how much I liked the original Firefly, it's gonna be awesome. And they changed.
Does anyone have one yet?
I don't know. I don't think anyone even has one.
I've seen reviews of them. I think on their website, Balisong Flipping and a few other people have like unboxings of them. But like I haven't seen on like Instagram someone posting, "Hey, I have one. It's really cool." Like I haven't seen that. I don't know how it is.
No, I have no
So
idea.
maybe it's not any better. I'm most interested because I think jimping great, speed channel kind of lines great. I'm more interested to see. They said they made the balance more neutral, which I'm
Yeah,
not sure I'm on board with.
I don't really know. That was part of what was so fun about the OG Firefly. It's just that it was ridiculously handle biased and it was sick.
Yeah, and it still worked. Like it still fanned well. It wasn't
Yeah,
like this OG squiddy handle bias where you can't fan with the thing.
yeah,
It was like a, a good handle bias and a
yeah. It
fun handle bias, especially.
it was really nice. I love the weight of that thing. I love the balance of that thing. I mean, um, yeah, I'm excited though. It's gonna be very interesting. Very, very interesting. And
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
they changed the bushing system, so apparently the tolerances are a lot tighter now. If that's I haven't heard anyone like talk about that, but that's what they said. So because the tolerances on the OG Firefly were, they had bushing, so you can tighten it down all the way, but the bushings weren't very well tuned. There was still a lot of play and a lot of movement. Mine
Yeah.
started to get tap to where just kind of towards the end of me having it started to develop some tap. So it was not the best thing in the world. But if they fixed it, if they updated it, then it'll probably be a lot better now. Because they already had bushings, they just had to tune them a little better. And then it'd be good.
That was my biggest complaint with the Firefly was like feeling, and honestly, kind of my biggest complaint with my Vortex currently, because my Vortex is kind of the same, where it has a lot of play to it. So I'm hoping that both the V2 Firefly and by extension the V2 prototypes that NRB is releasing have better tolerances.
Yeah.
But speaking of, oh,
I just wanted to quickly say the Koenig almost had tap when I
really?
borrowed it. Yeah, the tolerances in the Koenig were not great, and I was a little disappointed by it. I know it's been used and such, but like, so had my Marin, and that thing was still absolutely like 10 out of 10 in tolerances. So I don't think. And Zenki kept amazing care of the Koenig. It was like it barely had a single scratch on it. So I think NRB's tuning. I just haven't been. It's not that I was like disappointed, but I just haven't quite been impressed yet. But hopefully the V2s, now that he's got a little bit more experience under his belt, hopefully the V2s will come out strong.
he's sending them out. He's got to send them out soon. He's got them back. They're all laser engraved. The one thing I was a bit disappointed about is they don't have the number engraved on them. It just says Proto on the blade,
Yeah, that's lame.
which was a bit annoying because I've wanted a balisong that says like number, like your Marin said like number 37 on the blade. But there is a number on like the box he said, so I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
And speaking of little tiny improvements, this is also pretty old news, but you know what? Screw it. we just started this. We can do what we want.
We can do whatever
There
we
was
want.
the teal and purple colorways being introduced to Squid's lineup. I believe the purple
Yes.
Triton is coming out tomorrow, the purple Mako, the teal Squid Trainer. How do you feel about that?
As you probably know by now, teal is my favorite balisong color. Especially
I do.
Squid's teal is very, very nice. So I want a teal Mako. Teal Squid Trainer is super awesome, but what I really want, they made the purple Mako, and that kind of showed me that they were doing more colors on the Mako, and now I am absolutely obsessed with the idea of having an inked teal Mako, because I miss my Mako a lot, just because for $100 that thing was so sick, and I didn't have to worry too much about it because it was $100, and I would gladly buy another Mako if they dropped teal ones. Even the purple, I was honestly tempted to buy. I'm not even joking you.
I want a handle swap.
The 4.5 Mako, I still haven't tried yet. I had a V4.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so 4.5 Mako, a handle swap would be sick. Doing purple to blue, a blurple Mako.
I tell you what, like a purple and teal, or even I was thinking like a dark blue and a light blue, that would look cool.
That'd be sick.
There's some really cool colors you could do with the Mako. Although what I'm most interested in, the dual tone uninked Squid Trainer looks incredible. I don't know why I've always just been a fan of like uninked blade with the silver accents going down the handles. It looks so good, and it's probably what I'm going to get my Kraken in if I'm honest with myself. But
yeah,
I
it's a good
love
color
it.
combo. It's nice. It's clean. Very, very clean.
The teal. I want to see it in real life. You've seen it in real life. You've seen the teal, so you can speak for it. I haven't.
I have seen this teal, and I've also seen the teal from, 3 other companies now. It's very, very close to the Firefly teal. If you can, you can compare it off of that. It's
I can
like,
kind of picture that.
there's maybe like a 10% difference between them. I think the Firefly teal is a little more on the like sky blue side of things.
Oh, really?
Where the Kraken teal might have a little bit more green in it, maybe. I don't even know. It's hard to tell. I don't have my
Oh, that
Firefly
okay.
on me.
I love more. I like light green kind of teals.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope I don't get to see one, honestly, because I will buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm spending a lot of money this summer, but
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
I
What is
think
your?
Squid's teal is my favorite teal out of any balisong.
I was literally, you and I have the same brain. I was literally just about to ask, what is your favorite teal from any company? There we go,
yeah.
Squid.
Because Squid is my favorite. Squid is my favorite. The Firefly teal that I had, that's probably my second favorite. Then the Tay Flipper. The Tay Flipper teal is just super nice. And my least favorite teal that I have seen so far, gotta be the Koenig. It was just very undersaturated, and it kind of looked more like a cloud. I don't even know how to explain it.
It was like a green almost.
It was kind of like I don't know. Okay, we'll explain it like this. It looks like you took a layer of teal in like Photoshop and just turned the opacity down to like 25% over a white background.
Gotcha.
It was like it was just like a hint of teal, and I wasn't really vibing with it because I like very aggressive colors. So, I mean, it was cool, it was pretty, but comparing it to something like the Squid Industries teal, it just, I love that one. I love the Squid teal so much more.
Because you made a video comparing the Koenig and the Squid Trainer.
Yeah.
And I swear there was a shot of you had them kind of next to each other, like behind a plant or something.
Yeah.
And it made, I know exactly what you're talking about, because it made the Koenig look like almost greenish.
Mm-hmm.
Like a sort of minty seafoam green. And it's super weird. I would like to see it in real life. I'm not sure if I will, because NRB won't be at Blade Show, but I'm very excited to see the Squid teal. My wallet is not, but I am.
Your wallet's not. But no, the squid teal is absolutely awesome. It's definitely my favorite teal out of all the teals. What have I yet to try teal wise?
Cycloid, Zipper, I guess.
Oh yeah, yep. And I've yet to try any
Zipper has a lot of
titanium.
teals.
Any titanium annos. I think a really good Seraph Anno would be probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I think NRB auctioned off Seraph number 100, and it had a really nice, like almost teal Anno to it.
Oh my gosh.
But it's also going for, I think, $1,600 currently. So
some of the Seraph Annos are genuinely some of the coolest Annos I've ever seen.
God, the Seraph is beautiful.
They're so nice. The Seraph is absolutely amazing. Change of plans. I will not be buying a Seraph at Blade Show.
You know what? I'm partially happy to hear this. Because I don't think I could get any more jealous of your knife collection.
I had originally like genuinely planned to buy one, but kind of just with how work played out and me having to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of different things, I didn't end up. I could technically afford it, but I really don't want to do that to myself right now, because I have a lot more on my plate.
Fair.
So basically, I'm sticking with a Marin trainer if they don't come out before Blade Show, but there's a good chance I'll be dropping them like next week or something like that. If they don't come out before Blade Show, a Marin trainer, and if they do come out before Blade Show and I go to Blade Show without like a brand new knife in my pocket, it will probably end up being. I don't honestly know if I'm going to buy anything at Blade Show then.
Oh.
Because machine-wise is really all that I'm gunning for right now. And if I get a Marin trainer before Blade Show, I don't need any more squid. I don't need any more squid products. Nothing really interests me from them right now that I don't already have. Yeah, that's kind of it. I want to try some of the other. I want to try a few BRS knives. I want to try a Jerry Home knife, but I have really no interest in buying them. The only thing I might buy is a Medusa by Fellowship Blades, but I really don't see that happening just because I don't need...
That's Seraph level money, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think the Medusa is 500. So a little bit cheaper, but still, that's kind of too much. The most I'm willing to spend at Blade Show right now is probably around 300.
That's probably how much I'm going to bring.
Yeah, so, we'll see what happens. Something might catch my eye. There might be something crazy. Or maybe I'll just spend, maybe I'll skip buying a knife and just spend some money on merch or, some stuff like that.
I don't know. I'm getting a bit more shaky on Blade Show purchases. I think I'm still going to buy something because I'm still hyped up to get like a live blade. But I showed it to you with this. I'm probably going to end up going with this camera that I've been looking at. So I'm not exactly sure because I'll have the Nemesis in my pocket at Blade Show, hopefully. And that has a live blade option. Granted, I don't think he said he was going to sell them separately, but who knows where that goes. Maybe it just ends up being, I love that thing so much that I just get a live blade for it.
True, yeah. Could do that.
But then again, I still have to try all these things. I want to try the Tally Z, the Kraken, maybe if he has the Prisma live blade or whatever it is, I'll try that. But I would like to get a live blade. So maybe I think what's going to end up happening is I try a Kraken. I'm just like, wow, I can't live without this. And then, boom, I own one.
I think if you really like the squid trainer as much as you do, I think a Kraken for you is just kind of it's just gonna fit right in. Because the Kraken to me just feels like all of the good parts about the squid trainer done slightly better. So it's just kind of like it'd be such a nice step up for you. I love that. And also it'd just be, you'd have a live blade. So
yeah, it'd be my first live blade.
Yeah.
Not the first that I've ever tried, but
yeah. I'm kind of excited for you to, if you do end up getting a live blade, I'm kind of excited for you to get a live blade, because I know when I got my live blade, it's kind of just like, once you start flipping it and get comfortable with it, it's kind of just like, ooh, I feel like a balisong flipper now. I feel good. It's just kind of like
like a real balisong flipper.
It's just like a weird confidence boost. That's like,
I can see that.
Kind of feels like I'm like now that I feel like if you have both trainers and live blades, it kind of feels like now you have access to a lot more stuff, because a lot of people will only flip trainers and they're like scared of live blades. But once you get used to flipping a live blade, you have so many more like knife options and just kind of you just kind of can like look at clips and stuff a little differently because you know kind of like the fear and like how flipping a live blade goes. So it just kind of, I don't know, it just feels cool, and it's a little bit like a change in perspective once you get used to having a live blade.
Oh, for sure.
And of course,
It
you
also
have
just
a
seems more
knife, so-
fun.
It honestly, live blades are so much more fun to me because it's like, I don't know, it's not so much. Maybe it's like a little bit the thrill factor. It's like if I do mess this
Yeah.
up, I can severely injure myself. But a lot of it just kind of comes down to like technique, because with a live blade you have to be really smooth. And so like committing to tricks, you just kind of have to commit and you have to be smooth, and it kind of in turn makes you like a smoother, better flipper. So I feel like after flipping live blades for a while, you just kind of become a lot more comfortable just in general flipping.
Oh yeah. And I guess I shouldn't say it's more fun technically, but like just having a live blade, and because you're flipping a trainer, you're not really like, I'm sitting here, I'm watching a YouTube video or something, I'm not really focusing on my technique, I guess. So having a live blade kind of forces you to think, okay, I need to get this down, I need to smooth this out. If I don't smooth out this trick, I'm going to cut myself. Whereas on a trainer, you just
Yeah.
kind of get to like a good enough and you're like,
Yeah, I
on to the
feel
next
that.
trick.
Yeah, I feel that a lot. It was especially with aerials for me because I've been doing a lot of aerial stuff. It's like on my trainers, I just kind of throw stuff without a second thought about it. But on my live blades, it's actually like I have to make sure I'm good at this aerial before I start throwing it. Otherwise, I'm gonna really mess it up. So it's kind of, it does encourage you to like actually like put the time in to become a better flipper and like kind of just make the next step forward. I mean, nobody has
How
to
do you-
flip live blades. That's like nobody has to do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But I think if you're interested in it, flipping live blades is like a huge kind of it's like a big step. And I feel like if you get used to flipping live blades, you become a better flipper overall, just because there's so much more care, so much more thought put into flipping.
Oh yeah, I bet. Now my thing is, how has your experience been like learning new tricks on a live blade?
Um,
Because I'm just sitting here thinking like, okay, if I want to learn an aerial,
yeah.
it is guaranteed that I'm going to grab the blade at some point of that because
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. So is that where you put down the live blade, you pick up a trainer, or do you just YOLO it?
Learning new aerials, I always start with a trainer. If it's like learning an aerial from scratch, like when I learned the helix aerial, that I just, well, I guess it's more just like a horizontal aerial because I don't do the actual helix part. But
Yeah.
learning horizontal aerials and just weird catches and stuff, I always start with the trainer itself, because it's just easier. It's just easier because you're not trying to get it perfect. You're just trying to understand like the motions and how you need to throw it to get it to work properly. So I always just start with a trainer, and then aerials especially I tape my blade for, just
Gotcha.
for a little bit, just because learning some tricks, like it's just kind of, as long as you do it right, you're not really gonna hurt yourself. But aerials are one of those things that like, just take the extra measure, put a piece of tape over your blade, and just not mess your hand up. But also live blades, it kind of depends on how sharp your knife is, but they're a lot less dangerous than people really think. Once you kind of understand like the general safety and you flip them for a little bit, you really like, I haven't got a serious cut on my hand in like 2 or 3 weeks at this point. Because
Oh, really?
yeah, no, it's when I first got my Kraken, I messed up my hand real bad because I wasn't comfortable with it and I wasn't used to it, and I wasn't used to having a live blade like this. I had my Marin, but my Marin, when I first got it, I hadn't sharpened it yet, so it was completely dull. Didn't even cut
Gotcha.
me, and I straight up like not tried to cut myself just to test it, but I like purposely like hit my hand with it, and I'm like, this is really doing absolutely nothing. But my Kraken was sharp out of the box, and I messed my hand up really bad the first day I had it. But since then, I mean, I legitimately haven't gotten more than like a little stab from the tip in like 2 or 3 weeks now. It's just like
Gotcha.
you just become aware of like what you can and can't do pretty damn within the first week. You'll have a good idea of what you can and can't do with the live blade, and it's just a matter of try it with the trainer. I don't usually tape my blade anymore. I just use a trainer. Just try it with the trainer, and then until you get it down, and then transition over to the live blade, and just commit to tricks, because if you do mess it up 90% of the time, the worst that's going to happen is it's going to cut you a little bit, hurt for 10 seconds, and then be done.
Yeah.
As long as the biggest thing is just keep your knife sharp and keep it clean. That way cuts, they don't get bacteria in them. They cut, they bleed for like 10-15 seconds, and then you can just wrap them up and call it a day. So, just like...
But
just be smart. TLDR, just be smart and take care of your damn hands. Please, for the love of God, if you cut yourself, take care of it. Don't keep flipping just to think you look cool on Instagram. Please take care of
your knife. And
I hate that so much. I got one drop of blood around the pivots the one day I messed up my hand really bad, and I immediately went into the bathroom to like rub it off because I didn't want dried blood gunking up my pivots. I hate that.
Yeah, you see people with like silver krakens and they're just red because they cut themselves and they don't care to stop flipping. It's like, why? Why would you make that? Why would you make your balisong a sticky mess like that? I couldn't imagine.
And you're gonna make your hands so much worse by overworking them, and like, because the thing is, when you get a cut, especially if it's on a sensitive part of your hand, like your pointer finger, like right where you do like index rollovers or something like that. If you get a cut there, you have to put a big ass bandage on it. You're kind of out of commission. If you get a cut in the wrong spot, you can't flip properly because there's a bandage on your finger and your knife won't rotate around your hand properly. So, why would you purposefully keep flipping to open the cut more to make sure it heals slower? That way you're out of commission for longer. It just makes sense to immediately, as soon as you get cut, just wrap it up and let it heal as fast as it possibly can. That way you can get back to flipping normally. You won't have any extra stuff on your hands.
Yeah. I also just kind of hate cut culture in general. Like, I get, oh, you got your first cut or you got like a little thing and you post on your story. But like, there's those accounts that are dedicated to showing like the most gruesome cuts imaginable. And it's like, why? Why are we glorifying this? It's not a good thing to go out there and try and get the biggest cut that you can and bleed the most.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. Like, I posted my cuts when I first got my Kraken because it's like I just got the Kraken and it like
it's like a badge of honor.
Yeah. When you first get a knife,
that.
Your first cut with your knife is like that badge of honor. Yeah, it's like it officially signifies that you own that knife. But like posting every cut you get, or like like you said, dedicated accounts to cuts and stuff like that. Just why? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, people are into what they're into, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I want to switch topics a little bit because I want to talk about my... Ethan, don't go on a rant here. We'll save that rant for another day. I want to talk about my custom Nautilus.
I don't got a rant. I already recorded my commentary to the Nautilus.
Okay,
all the
right.
Nautilus stuff is off my chest.
Okay, cool. So yeah, my custom knot. It's on my Instagram, which will probably be linked in the description. I got an inked Nautilus, bought it from a buddy of mine, and then I put acrylic scales from Bruise and Blades on it, and they look
amazing.
So sick. He also sent me a gold, like a scrap gold scale, just so I can look at it, and that thing is literally like a mirror. It's ridiculous.
Put it on. Iron Man Nautilus.
Let's go. I was thinking about putting it on, but it's like a scrap, so it's really rough around the edges, and it doesn't feel nice in the hand. But yeah, honestly, I'm realizing now, like after I've had this for a while, the thing I hate the most about the knot is the G10. It made it feel like so cheap, and just it was like I just hated the feeling of it. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a premium balisong that I've come to know, like comparing it to like the Kraken or like the Marin or anything like that. It didn't feel like that premium balisong that I expected it to be. But getting rid of the G10 and putting on something that feels like super smooth and well made it changes everything. And the balance on it changed slightly. It's a little more neutral, which honestly I kind of like the balance of the original knot. I think it's really
I do
fun.
as well.
It's just a little bit more neutral. It's still definitely handle biased, but this one, it flips absolutely awesome. I think it flips better than the original knot because it just feels so much nicer in the hand. It feels a lot more premium, and I just find myself gravitating towards it a lot more. But I don't know. My collection is slowly moving towards, well, not slowly moving, but I'm starting to take interest in more like custom, like one-off, like this is my knife. And I think the Nautilus with like the blood red scales is like, dang, this is like my thing. This is sick. It's like my knife.
It is very cool.
It's awesome.
Does it change the weight at all? I assume so.
By I think like what was it? So the original knot scales were 0.288. Oh wait, no. They were 0.288 each. And the these knot scales are 0.17. So it goes down almost like 0.1 of an ounce by each scale.
Oh, that's actually not as much as I thought. Oh, for each scale.
No, for each scale. So it probably goes down to like little over 3 ounces.
Oh, wow.
It feels a little lighter. It definitely does. But honestly, I think it's absolutely perfect weight-wise. And I think balance-wise, it still feels super good. I honestly love the balance of both the stock Nautilus and this custom one. I think most of the weight is in the actual channel parts of the handles, which of course don't change. But man, this thing feels so sick. It does have the knot tolerance problems. If it's not fully cranked down all the way as hard as I can tighten it, it taps. I knew that was coming. I still bought it because I still wanted one. I'm still super happy with it. It's just the knot has basically inevitable tap.
It taps, but does it blade rub?
No, it does not. It's pretty close, and I think I've heard it kind of hit the channel a few times, but most of the time, no. It just kind of taps if I shake it hard enough.
Okay.
So
I can live with that. Like, I can kind of live with that, I guess.
Yeah. Wish it
It's
didn't have
just
that
the fact
problem,
that
but you know.
Yeah, I mean, the knot is fun for sure.
Oh yeah.
I actually, like, I'm thinking back to flipping it. I really do. I like the Nautilus.
Mm-hmm.
And with those scales, I can see why you'd want to get them.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love the way this thing flips. Even before I got the scales, even when I just had the stock knot, I absolutely love the way it flips. It's so much fun, and it would be, like, probably my main... It is currently, but it's probably going to stay my main trainer for a very long time. I just don't... The tolerance problems, they're... Yeah. Like, I understand tolerance problems happen, but not in an almost... Well, it would depend on which one you get, but not in like mid-200s, potentially almost $300 knife.
Because the problems have extended to the carbon fiber knot. Someone made a Reddit post, I believe, yesterday, saying and showing that their carbon fiber knot developed the tap, and I don't remember if it was blade rubber or not. I think it might have been, but I could be misremembering. And it was like a week after he got it, and it was tapping away.
Yeah.
So,
and it's
even on the carbon fiber ones, they're still
the part that sucks about
270, 290, depending if you get the inked one.
The part that sucks so much about it is that it's not a tuning thing. The knots are just designed with such tight channels that tap is almost inevitable. Like, I don't think there's really much of a way that they can tune it to make tap not happen for like most of the knots. It just, every person I've talked to that has a knot besides Brandon is the one exception. Almost every person I've talked to, their knot has some form of tap. Either it taps pretty bad, or it's like, if you shake it hard enough, it taps. A lot of them have blade rub. And if you just look
Bent
at...
blades,
yeah.
like...
if you just look at the Nautilus, the channel, it has barely any room to wiggle. The blade is so close to the inside of the channels. Like even on my Kraken, there's a lot more room, and it's just unfortunate. And also, Squid said that tang pins are kind of the only way they can do the knot. I don't really believe that, because with the way the Chanwich works, they could very easily do hidden Zen pins.
So actually, this is something that I learned about. You can't. If you were to put, because the aluminum, at least this is how I understand it, if you were to put Zen pins in the knot, the aluminum, and since the channels are so thin, it would like snap the aluminum.
Would there really be that much force enough to snap a piece of aluminum off?
Apparently, because I think that's why you only see similar designs to the knot with titanium Zen pins. Like the replicant. The replicant is G10, but it has titanium liners, and that's how they do the Zen pins. So I'm not exactly sure of the physics there, but that's what I've heard.
My brain doesn't comprehend how you can have that much force to actually snap off a piece of aluminum. When the
I don't even think... Well, okay, not
when
snap,
the knife is only
crack.
like 3 ounces.
It would crack because it's super thin.
Maybe.
I mean, look at the end of the channel to the end of the aluminum. It's not the... I don't have my knot within arm's reach, but I don't think it's that thick.
No, it's definitely pretty thin. I don't know. I would like to see it tried, though, but, I mean, they're not going to do it.
It would be nice.
Because, I mean...
I think...
Theoretically, yeah, I get it.
Lower the price
but I don't know. Just doesn't register in my brain that, like, enough power would be created for that to actually break off. But then again, people were breaking... Oh, my God. Somebody broke the blade on their vortex by dropping it one time.
I saw
shit
that.
Happens. Yeah. I think that was actually the person... No, it was. That was the person that bought my Firefly. He bought it because...
Firefly.
Yeah. He bought it because he was waiting for the new blade from NRB and he didn't have anything to flip.
Well.
Yeah.
How do you... I mean, the blade on the Vortex doesn't feel the sturdy. It kind of feels like the knot. The knot has a blade that feels like you could snap it if you really tried. Obviously, you can't. It's steel and you're a human being and you're not going to break steel. But, like, it feels like if it just got dropped the wrong way, it would, like, break. The Vortex kind of feels the same way. So I kind of understand that. But, yeah, that...
It's wild.
I don't know how to feel
that
about
was just
the
a
knot.
fluke, though, because, I mean, it's probably a similar thing to, like, Brandon's Antarctic. Like, you have to drop that at such the right angle and on, like, the exact proper surface for that to happen. Like, there is...
And I think NRB actually covered the blade, so...
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got a new one, no problem. That's just... It's wild, though. It's wild that stuff like that just happens sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah, the durability flukes that have happened. I mean, I'm going to say the Mako, even though that wasn't really a fluke, that was kind of a widespread thing.
Yeah.
But it's so weird to see someone, like, I guess the first time that someone snapped a Mako handle, seeing that was like, what the hell? How did you do that? Or the Vortex blade breaking, or people like shearing the screws off of their Kraken trainers completely, like the head of the screw gets
how the hell
separated
do you do
from the
that?
body. It's like, wow.
The part that doesn't register to me is that a lot of these people are straight up just like breaking steel in half. Like how do you do that? How does that happen? Like stripping a screw, I can understand because there's a lot of like little pins and it's very easy to them to like kind of shear off. But how the hell do you break a steel blade in half? Like,
I don't know if NRB lists the steel that he uses. Oh dear, he uses 440C.
That's the same.
That's the same.
The Arctic, isn't it?
The Arctic.
Damn.
Granted, this is okay. So these are the specs from the first ever time he revealed the Vortex. So this is 126 weeks ago, which is 2.5 years ago or something crazy. Oh yeah, December 6, 2019.
Dang.
Okay, 440C steel, which is again not a huge metal guy, but from my understanding, that's a very strong steel for trainers to be made out of. It's not like the Mako or the old Triton where you're bending the blade by dropping it. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a solid. I mean, think of how abused my Arctic is. That blade is still perfectly straight.
yeah.
That's
All
crazy.
right, that's a bit more shocking. I
That's
forgot. I didn't
how
know
do you
that
do
the
that?
Vortex is 440.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
I guess it just speaks to the structural integrity of it, because, like I said, the crack or not the Kraken, the oh, I do want to talk about the Kraken in a second, though. The Nautilus, the blade doesn't feel the best. You've probably experienced this.
Hmm.
Vortex, the blade doesn't feel the best, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm getting way off topic.
I don't know.
My question is, since Squid has had all the QC issues lately, you have a recent Live Blade Kraken.
Yes.
And those things are always regarded as like perfect. People take the pivots out and they still don't have tap, like crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has the Kraken held up to that standard, or did it even have that standard when you got it out of the box?
No, it did not have that standard when I take it out of the box. When I take the pivots out, it taps aggressive. It's not to the point of like this is a godsend. Like it moves, like the Arctic wiggle. It definitely has
Yeah.
that. When it's tightened down, you can feel it wobbling a little bit. This is not the best tuned balisong I've ever held in my life. It's not by a long shot. The Marin Light is, but it's by far not the best thing I've ever touched in my life. However, it doesn't actually tap at all. It is incredibly smooth. It tunes very, very well. It's just the hype around the Kraken being like you can take the screws out and it's not even gonna tap on you. Mine is not like that. But in terms of QC, it is perfect. The pins are perfectly set and they're not moving at all. I got it. Like it doesn't have that god tier tolerance that some people are lucky enough to get, but it's really, really solid. The tolerances, by any means, like don't get me wrong, they're actually really, really good tolerances. Some of the better tolerances I've had, but
Okay.
they're not quite that insane, ridiculous. Like you could throw it out of a 12-story window and it'll still have no tap after taking all the screws out. Like it's not that.
Have the
It's
tolerances degraded at all?
no, they did once because I am stupid and I took it apart to clean it and everything was going well and perfectly fine. While I was putting it back in, I don't know what it is. I think it's because I didn't have a way to align the pivots and stuff. Genuinely took me about 25 minutes to get the pivots back together. I think that was just me being stupid, but also the holes were cut with such tight tolerances that I had to be absolutely spot on or it wouldn't go through. Compared to my Nautilus, where I put them in first try and it took me like 2 seconds to get it through, this thing was a pain in the ass to take apart. While I was doing that, it was such a pain in the ass that I got to a point where I was like pushing really hard on it. Something slipped and I sent my washers flying across the room.
Oh no.
Since it was brand new, the dent from the bushings I couldn't really see. I tried my best to like realign them, but I couldn't see them at all. So I just kind of had to work with what I got. And it's that handle. I know that's what caused it because it is that handle specifically that now has worse tolerances. And after that, I said, okay, I'm not taking my bite handle off because it was a safe handle that I messed up. I said, okay, I'm not taking my bite handle off ever because I'm stupid and we'll do it again. So my safe handle is a little bit wobbly, but my bite handle is spot on. It's still not to that point of like the god tier, take your screws out, it won't move, but it's better. But no,
That's how my Arctic is.
Since I did that though, they haven't changed at all. It's still absolutely perfect. And I've dropped it on the concrete a few times. It does have a few. Luckily, I have the my Kraken caps that I printed I have those guys on a lot of the time, so it doesn't actually have any major dents. It's still like a 9 out of 10 in terms of quality. It's just it took one fall onto the concrete outside, which got some chips in the blade, not the actual like sharp edge of the blade, but just the coating on the blade. And there's 1 or 2 chips in the tops of the handles. But it's probably like an 8.5 out of 10 in terms of quality. Like
Nice.
damage wise, it's held up super well. There's been no issues with the ano or anything like that. It's just some normal wear and tear. You know, every once in a while, even if I'm flipping over my bed, sometimes it'll drop, it'll slip, and then it'll like hit the edge of my desk or something like that. It's just normal wear and tear stuff. But tolerances have held up. Aesthetically, it's held up. Yeah, everything is holding up really, really well.
That's good to hear.
Even the blade, has stayed pretty sharp. And I use it.
That's what my Arctic was just my bite handle is like perfect, and I can tighten it fully and all that, but my safe handle, I can't, and I kind of got to fiddle with it, and it's a bit more wobbly. So I understand that. Is there anything else you want to bring up about the Kraken? Because I have like a full pivot to a completely out there conversation that I want your opinion on. No,
the Kraken, I think I've said most of what I said either in this conversation or in my review. I think I've basically said everything. Yeah, go watch the review. It's on my channel.
Hell yeah.
All right, what's your next topic? What's your pivot?
People have been mentioning, you've probably heard the name before, bally scissors. People have brought it up all the time in like my streams and all that, but it's this guy by the name of Contraption Collections on YouTube. He's had this running series of like 2 years where he designs a balisong that is also a pair of scissors.
Yes. I have heard of those.
And I've been watching the series, and I think they're cool as shit.
Very interesting. The last I watched one of like the update videos on the bally scissors was probably 6 months to a year ago. So I am not entirely caught up, but I think when I actually watched the bally scissors video, it was before we even started flipping. It was like,
oh wow,
it just came up in my recommendations, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I didn't look any more into it. I kind of forgot that he was doing that, but I'll have to look into if he has any more recent update videos.
I believe he does. I don't know for sure because I'm watching chronologically. But I think based on the comments that were left on his latest Instagram post, and by latest Instagram post, I mean like 3 months ago, I think he's approaching production of them because he wants to sell them, I believe.
Damn.
And I tell you what that would be a sick balisong to use.
That'd be awesome.
Because you have the 2 handles, and you flip it out, you press the button, and you have the pair of scissors. Yeah. My question is, because someone asked this on a live stream, this is one of those like would you press the button or like philosophical debates. Okay. Is it a live blade?
Oh shit, you hit me with a hard one.
Because technically when the scissors are closed and locked, there's 2 safe sides.
Yes,
because they're the opposite ends of scissors. It's just a trainer. But then you click it and you open it and you have 2 blades, but not like super sharp blades, just like scissor blades. So
and
is that
also,
a live blade?
Wouldn't it be technically, I'd have to refresh myself on the design, but if you were to like chaplain it while it's open, wouldn't it still be on the safe side no matter which side you started? Because you'd have to like go inside the 2 blades. I think it's trainer.
There would be no way to, because the handles get locked up.
Yeah. I'm going to say trainer.
Technically, yeah. You're going to say a trainer.
Yeah, I'm going to say a trainer.
I think obviously legally it's a live blade, and it's,
of course.
Actually, I don't even know where would that fall on the legality spectrum.
Technically, it's just a tool. It's just scissors. So
because it's like those they make giant like gardening scissors. Is it legal to take those into a Walmart with me? I don't know.
I don't think anyone. Maybe someone would be like, that's kind of weird, but I don't think anyone would be like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, he's got a knife. He's got scissors.
I also think it's a trainer, but I think it could very well become like the Pokemon versus lions, or like those weird stupid debates that I hate, where like you could argue either way. I feel like that's what it evolves into, because it's a trainer, sure, but it's also a live blade. But then if you call it a live blade, is a squid trainer a live blade because the squid trainer has a sharp point. Is a barfly a live blade because it's more useful as like a normal tool and it's also kind of sharp in the bottle opener. Like there's so many like paths that open up,
This is a
and I
philosophical
love the
debate.
debate. I don't know why.
Yeah. I'm gonna say trainer. Because you have to like, its default state is a trainer because it's closed
Yes.
blade, two safe sides. I think that's what I go off of is like its default resting state, and that to me is a trainer. Um,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
yeah, I think that's my that's my consensus. That's my
But
statement.
those things are sick. I
Yeah, that's
really
pretty
want a
cool.
pair. I'm not gonna lie.
I wonder
I
how
think
much
if
they're
he
gonna
releases
cost.
those, I don't know. I don't know cost. I don't even know. Like I said, I'm behind. I don't
Mhm.
know what they're made out of. I don't even know if they're good flippers,
Who
but they're
knows?
just cool. If he
Yep.
announces like a production run of them, I would honestly consider selling one of my balisongs, getting it, reviewing it, selling it, and then just
Let's go.
if it's not great, sell it again. If it is good, keep it. Remains to be seen, and then use the money if I sell it to buy something else. But like they
Yeah.
seem super sick, and it's the kind of innovation that I'm really, really enjoying seeing in the balisong community.
It's kind of like the bellio, but actually like cool and useful.
Yeah, the ballio, if the ballio was good,
Yeah, the bellio was
and if
actually,
people
well,
actually wanted to
theoretically
use it.
actually flippable.
Well, the Ballio, I'm going to say something that people are going to hate me for. I don't care. The Ballio serves no purpose.
Yeah,
It is a bad balisong.
and a
Therefore, it is
bad pen.
unfun to flip. Wouldn't pen spinning a normal pen just be more fun?
Yeah, honestly.
You're paying extra money for a less fun experience than if you just learned how to pen spin.
Yeah. The
And that's
problem
my hot take, and I will die on that hill.
the problem is that not only is it a bad ballad song, but it's also just a bad pen in general. It'll be trying to write it and the handles will be flopping around and the pen's also tiny.
You're trying to be so many different things, and you're good at none of them.
None of them.
How are you such a failure? Yeah, I don't know.
Start insulting all Ballio users. Imagine using a Ballio. Cringe.
Are there Ballio users?
No.
Leave a comment down below if you're a legitimate,
are you a
faithful
Ballio
Ballio user. You can see how many people actually make it to this far.
We'll see.
That I
We'll
would
see.
love to see someone be like, well, actually, I use a Ballio every single
Actually.
day, and I think that it is perfect in every single way. It beats a Kraken, it beats a Seraph, it beats a Tsunami, and it's just the best Balisong you
I
can
got
buy.
bad news for you, Timmy. No, it does not. I'm excited.
Timmy, have you used a metal Balisong
Timmy,
before?
have you touched anything? Have you touched anything besides Mountain Dew and hot Cheetos? Please tell me. Go outside.
And your Ballio.
And your Ballio. Oh my gosh. No, I'm excited for you to try the Kraken though, because the Kraken especially just feels like like I know we talked about it a ton when we were first trying the Nautilus out. But like, you know, the ballad songs, some of them feel good, but some of them just feel like premium. Like this feels nice, even if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with flipping. Even it's just like feel in the hand, like just the weight and the material and all that. Out of all the ballad songs, I think the Kraken feels the most premium to me. It just feels good. And I think it just comes down to just the texturing on the handles and just the handle material. It just feels
Probably.
so good.
Does the
then-
texture run the whole side?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is it, or is it okay? It's all over.
Yeah, it is. Every single centimeter on the front face is completely textured.
That's good. So it's
Yeah.
not like a squid trainer, which I'm really starting to get annoyed by the lack of grip on the sides of the squid trainer. But that's another discussion.
Yeah, it's another discussion. No, it's the entire face of the handle all the way up to the top of the pivots. Everywhere. It's all the way up to where they couldn't fit it anymore because that is the actual pivot cutout. It's the whole thing, which is nice.
Nice. I'm very excited to try a ton of knives.
Yeah.
Kraken is probably at the top of my list. Marin Light, fingers crossed.
I really hope we
Tally
can get that
Z,
sorted
like,
out by Blade Show.
There's so many. Yeah, that's why I said fingers crossed.
Yeah.
There's so many knives that I want to try, and even trainers. Like the Prisma looks great.
Yeah.
The Prisma has like a ring to it. Not like
Yeah.
a ring even, like a ding almost when you open it,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is super sick. And then of course the Nemesis and the Vortex V2. There's just so much to be excited for.
I
I think we
want.
brought this up last
Yeah.
episode, but
This is a weird want, but I want to try an aluminum channel bare bones. Just
uh,
because. Just because. I know. Just because. I want to see. I want to see
uh,
why people use that thing.
I hate the bare bones for literally no reason, but I hate the bare bones.
Yeah, shout out to the bare bones. You suck. I don't even know why. I just don't like you. You're ugly. I'm gonna bully you. I'm gonna bully
I
bare bones
really
users.
don't know why I don't like it. I just am repulsed by it.
No, I strictly don't like it because it's BRS. Honestly, like the bare bones is
Fair
probably
enough.
their most. The bare bones is probably like a really solid product, and it honestly, in all honesty, it's probably actually really good. It's just I don't like BRS very much, so I immediately don't like the bare bones.
You sound
up.
like 90% of the balisong community.
Yeah, I don't like BRS very much. It's also kind of I'm just like biased from the community because BRS people annoy the shit out of me because there's just something about people 90% of the annoying people are like trying to build reps or something like that, and they're like the rep is the best Balisong ever and it's the only thing you should ever buy. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, but like,
Nah.
what if I didn't?
What if I didn't buy a rep? The amount of people who have said, just like to either of us, like, yo, you should buy a rep. What if I don't want to? What if I have
Yeah, what if
no
I
interest?
didn't? I don't want to build my own balisong for $900. I would rather buy a perfect balisong for $900, like the Seraph.
Yeah, the rep just does. Okay, the Alpha Beast I understand. I kind of not gonna lie, I really want to try Chab. I want to try Aluminum Bare Bones. The rep just in my eyes is just like nothing special.
And it's G10, which
and
we
I
were
hate
just talking
G10.
about. We don't like G10.
I despise G10. But like, what does the rep have that other knives don't? Like what?
Customizability, that's all I can think of.
Yeah, when it comes to just like buying a stock rep, there is knives that flip better. There's knives that like just are in general better made. Anything from machine wise. Yeah. There's really not much I can think of besides that customizability that kind of makes me want to try a rep.
Yeah, I can agree with that. What is your, this is kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier. What is your most anticipated knife at Blade Show? Like, what do you want to try the most?
Seraph.
Seraph?
The Seraph,
That's a good one.
it's a wombo combo. I want to try the Seraph and the Tsunami back to back. I want to see,
Yeah.
like,
Try a Seraph and then beeline to squid.
yeah. I mean, we're probably gonna meet up with Will and Brandon like first thing, so we'll probably just try them like right next to each other.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, the reason I want to do it is because the Tsunami to me, anything over $1,000 is not included in this conversation. Well, what I'm about to say, anything over 1,000 doesn't count. JK Design products don't count. Stuff like that doesn't count. The Tsunami to me has always been like the balisong that I like think is like the holy grail of balisongs. And then for my preferences at least, and then the Seraph comes along and just kind of does it better and just not flies under the radar, but compared to the size that Squid has, machine-wise, is tiny. I mean, he's growing now because the Seraph is fucking insane, but
Yeah.
everything machine-wise does is absolutely insane. But like Squid's Holy Grail Balisong got beat out by like one dude in his garage making balisongs because he found a Will Hirsch video. And I really want to see the comparison between those two. Because if the Seraph is genuinely better than the Tsunami, that is so cool to me. That just machine-wise, just Dalen himself can make a better balisong. Well, theoretically. And it's all preference as well. But it's
Yeah.
not even like when I say cool, I don't mean like, oh, cool, someone's beating squid. I just mean it's so almost like inspiring to see one person rise to the top just by making the best product they can, and like
I mean,
not
the smaller
doing.
makers have been killing it.
They've been
So
crushing
yeah,
it. And I
yeah,
think if it is genuinely better than the tsunami is, I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna be like so inspiring to me, because I think of myself as kind of like, when it comes to anything like YouTube stuff, but also my own like business stuff, I see myself as kind of like this little guy in the corner that's just getting started, but when I do take off, I'm going to take off hard. That's kind of how I plan to do things, just because I just like to establish, like, take my videos, for example, my recent videos especially. I don't have like the popularity of someone like Will or the popularity of someone like Balisong flipping, but I have the quality. So I think I kind of like to, instead of trying to do a ton of marketing and like do a ton of stuff that appeals to the algorithm, I want to do something that stands on its own. And I feel like Machine Wise did the same thing. He didn't care how many people bought it. He just made a balisong that was like actually like a god tier balisong, and just released it and just let people go ham. And we now have one of the best balisongs to ever exist. And I think that that's just, it's so sick, and I want to try it so bad. And seeing an I don't want to call him an underdog, but like seeing an individual creator like that rise to the top and potentially beat out Squid's Holy Grail balisong is just ridiculous.
And let me say for the record, because I think it would be a really funny clip to come back to after Blade Show, I am terrified to try a Seraph. I'm terrified to try any Machine Wise product, because I know that not only am I going to want to buy one, but it is going to ruin every balisong that I have, because my entire collection is sub $200, with the exception of the Nautilus, but I don't count that. It is going to absolutely ruin, lay waste to, and destroy all of my other balisongs, and it's gonna be so funny.
It's gonna be kind of an interesting experience. Just, oh my gosh, the new Marin trainer. Yeah, even NRB said it's the best knife for the price, hands down. He posted it on Instagram.
Yeah,
and he said it's like the best knife for the price. And coming from NRB, that's pretty good, because NRB's tried a lot of knives. I mean, I don't even have one, and I already believe it's the best knife for the price. But
I do want to clarify from last week. I believe we mentioned it was 70-75, or at least we were assuming it was.
Yeah,
it is not.
It is 60-61,
which is a bit
now.
disappointing to see. Because I think if it was 70-75, I would be like, yes, this is on paper the best balisong, especially the Prisma, because the Prisma is going to be 150. At least I think it's called the Prisma.
Yeah, the Prisma, I believe.
I don't know. If you get at 70-75, I think the Vortex, you could make a case for it as well. I'm very interested to see the comparisons between the two when they both come out.
Yeah.
And by very interested, I mean I literally cannot wait. Dear God, please someone make that video, because I am on the edge of my seat.
I personally, if you ask me, I don't think the material is really going to change how I feel about the knife, because I really don't care about the material much in the first place. So it's entirely going to come down to flipping experience for me.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't.
But I think it's a very important part to play.
Yeah.
Because oh no, you own a 70-75 knife, so you know the difference in durability. But just the Vortex, the fact that it doesn't have a dent on it is just so crazy to me. So 70-75, I'm a big believer in it.
Honestly, maybe it's just because I haven't dropped my Kraken that much. I really haven't noticed too much of a difference between the two.
In terms of like denting and all that?
Yeah.
I mean, take one look at your Arctic and then look at your Kraken.
Well, my Arctic was also thrown against concrete for like 2 months. My Kraken has dropped on concrete like 1 time.
Well, you can compare that. I'm just saying, like 60-61 would dent if you dropped it on hard carpet.
That concrete drop on my Kraken did give it dents. It chipped the ano pretty hard. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a big chip in the bottom corner. It's the one time I dropped it on concrete without the caps on. The very, very corner chipped a little weird, but
Maybe I'll have to do a video about that.
Yeah.
Because I would really like to. I'll just take a 60-61 and a 70-75 knife, drop them from the same height, and see the difference in damage.
Yeah, see what happens.
Not the most scientific test, but you know what? Fuck it.
It's more of a real world test. Because you can talk about the differences in durability and all that of the different steel types, but if they both chip when you drop them from waist height, then what does it really matter?
Yeah.
So it's more of like a real world. I would much more rather see like a real world test like that rather than people just like, oh, trust me, 70-71 is a lot stronger than, or 70, whatever the hell. I don't even remember. I want to see like a real world test like that.
My real world test has just been my college dorm, because it had carpet, but it was a tile and then a thin layer of carpet.
Mm-hmm.
So I would drop like my Fire and Ice Arctic, which I try and keep in the best shape possible. I would drop it and it would dent it. But I drop my Vortex on it all the time from much higher up, and there's not a dent on my Vortex. Granted, I think I've only dropped my Vortex on concrete once as well, like with your Kraken. But even with that drop, like I said, I can run my finger around the bottom of it and there's no imperfections or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be interesting to look into.
Yeah, I don't know. That'll have to be something we're looking into. We are an hour and 6 minutes.
I was going to say, we are probably over.
Yes.
As usual.
As usual. So I think it's time we wrap up and call it a day. As usual, follow both of us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. All the links will be in the description. Did you ever end up making like a description template? Or like standard description?
I'll do that tonight while you're working on this episode.
Okay. Because I'll probably, I'm not doing anything tonight. So I'll probably just like send it over to my laptop and edit it just like as soon as we're done.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do it also as soon as we're done.
Okay.
And stay tuned on this channel for other videos not podcast related.
Yes, we have stuff coming.
I think you're working on one.
I had a video planned. I'm gonna re-record it just because I like to just like re-clarify some of the information. I just want to say stuff a little differently. So yeah, I should have something coming, and then we are going to get you. We're gonna get you a head-mounted camera soon.
Yes, I've been doing research on that thing. I'm not going to say what it is yet.
No, we don't got to reveal
but
that.
It's cool, dude. I mean, it's a cool little piece of technology.
Yes, sir. And it depends. So I looked at without doxing anything. My work offers me, if I do like e-learnings, like online learnings that are sponsored by the company itself, I get certain like deals through the company. One of them was 25% off certain products from the company. This company that you're ordering your thing from, it doesn't, I'm so pissed, it does not include, one of the only things it doesn't include is the thing you're buying. That would have been so nice,
that sucks.
But it doesn't include it, which is a little sad. But I might see if there's one from a different company that also makes cameras we can head mount. So I might look into that, but yeah, I guess for now, yeah, GoPro.
I mean, you need a head mounted camera too, technically.
I do, yeah. My
look into that for yourself.
Yeah, honestly, I think I might get one. It'll depend.
GoPro?
It'll depend. Yeah, I might get a GoPro. It'll depend though. Actually, yeah. Why don't I? Not right now, not like the next few days, but sometime before Blade Show, I'll probably end up getting one. I have a few. I was just thinking of like, how could I pay for it? Because I don't want to pay that much money up front. But I have a bunch of, since I work in the store that sells GoPros, I have a bunch of financing options. So
nice.
I can probably pay it off over a few months. It'll be alright.
All right, we are way beyond the scope of a balisong
We
podcast.
are way
Well,
beyond Balisong podcast, but that's
we're
what we do
way
here.
beyond the time, I guess, is what
Yes.
matters. That's what we do here. You're
True,
right.
true. That's what we do here.
Stay tuned for all that fun stuff.
Yes.
We got a lot of stuff in the
Stay
works.
tuned for all the swag that is going to happen. A lot of cool stuff going on. It's going to be very nice. It's going to be very, very nice. And, all right. Yeah, all the links are in the description as usual. Feel free to check out all of our other stuff. Follow us on Instagram. Shoot us a message if you'd like to chat, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Expect more on this channel soon. We have videos coming, and also Blade Show. Blade Show is going to be big for both of us. Blade Show is going to be huge for both of us, but we got to get going. This video file is going to be stupidly big if we keep going for another like hour and a half. So anyways,
Yeah.
all right. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all again very soon. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.
See you.